In China, the diversity of goat farming has opened up in many unexpected directions. From modern high-tech farms to natural grazing methods, each farming method has an interesting story, reflecting the innovation and perseverance of Chinese farmers. The goat milk production industry has increased rapidly in recent decades. More than half of the goat milk industry's products come from Asia, more specifically China. Goats are popular with Chinese farmers because they require fewer inputs than cattle and buffalo. In this country, goats are often raised by farmers on small farms, characterized by limiting capital and land, reliance on family labor, and a mix of crops and small numbers of livestock. Small goat farmers usually own around 15 female goats. Currently, the government is encouraging dairy goat farms to expand their scale, based on a number of available models. Large farms often own about 600 female goats or more. Most of them reproduce through artificial insemination. Care steps are similar to other livestock species, and they are even easier to raise. On dairy goat farms in China, seinen goats are quite popular amongst farmers. As well as this, there are a few goat species that are hybrids between local goat breeds and seinen goats. Fuping County in China is an area with many dairy goats and more than 320,000 animals. This is a crop production area, so dairy goats are kept in captivity and fed food harvested from crops. The corn kernels were harvested by hand and dried before being added to the goat's menu. In addition, goats can eat leftovers from other livestock or graze in fields. If farming is large scale, goats are kept in more permanent buildings. They are fed in fenced feeders, and there is an outside resting area. Farmers usually do not use litter. On large farms, people feed their goats chopped green grass, along with a little hay and grain. Modern technology will increase working efficiency and improve the quality of husbandry as well as the health status of goats. Workers do not need to go to the barn to monitor the goat's condition. The system can display each goat's information on a computer screen, including gender, age, weight, as well as health status, vaccinations, and pregnancy. Currently, this farm only needs to employ 11 people to manage 3,000 goats. The management program includes healthcare, age determination, hoof care, and animal welfare measures. In addition, farmers learn how to recognize diseases, parasites, and other vaccination procedures. Baby goats are usually born between December and March. On most dairy goat farms, baby goats stay with their mother and are cared for in the first month or so to reduce mortality rates. When goats are 1 month old, they will weigh around 22 pounds, and goats that are not bred for breeding will be sold. Farmers provide hay at least twice a day, while nutritious cereals are included in the diet once a day in the morning. The average adult goat consumes about 2 to 3 pounds of feed per day. However, this amount of food can fluctuate depending on the goat breed and growth stage. Goats usually mature after about 18 months, and this is to ensure the best health and development for the goats. For most goat breeds, regardless of farm or herd size, farmers invest in milking machines. The milk is collected and filtered into a container, then cooled with cold water. Milk is transported to the processing plant in containers. Most of the milk is processed into cheese and exported to other Asian countries. The government also provides financial support to goat farmers. A farmer will be able to take his goats to a milking station at the local village. Here the goats will be milked by a trained milker. If a female goat is treated with medication, her milk is separated. Authorities believe that milking using centralized machines will improve the quality and safety of the milk. A modern milking station can milk 500 to 600 goats a day. Cheese does not appear as a common food ingredient in China. As in the US, goat products are not as popular as cattle products. However, some goat milk companies are experimenting with cheese production for economic development. In China, dairy goats are transitioning from small-scale household farming to a big industrial scale. The farm is built according to standards. The goat farming industry is growing rapidly, with more and more farms having a scale of 1,000 to 10,000 goats. Shaanxi Province is the largest dairy goat breeder and the largest producer of goat milk products. It has the largest market share in China. With the rapid growth of the market, the government encourages Shaanxi farmers to develop the goat milk industry by raising 5 million milk goats and producing 1.2 million litres of goat milk by 2025. There are about 1 billion goats in the world. The countries with the largest populations are China, India, and Pakistan. Amongst them, the goat population in China has more than 127 million. Goat farms located in a mountainous area can graze freely. Goats are skilled at grazing using their flexible upper lips, prehensile tongues, and nimble front legs to get to the most nutritious part of plants. Farmers take advantage of goats' unique herbivorous ability for grazing. From there, the farm can achieve excellent production performance without adding grain. Goats are an important livestock species in Guizhou Province. This area has vast mountainous terrain and many natural plant species, creating very good conditions for livestock farmers. Therefore, meat goat production plays an important economic role in rural development. According to goat experts, Boer goats are crossed with local breeds to produce meat, and the hybrids are superior to any of the parent breeds. These advantages make them easy to raise and affirm their commercial position. Female goats give birth to 1 or 2 babies every 4 to 5 months. Meat goats are slaughtered when they are around 10 to 12 months old and weigh more than 77 pounds. Every 4 months, meat farmers slaughter animals and sell the meat and organs to dealers. Haimen Province in Nantong, Jiangsu Province raises 800,000 goats every year. This number contributes to making the goat farming industry the mainstay economic sector of the district. The journey to discover goat farming methods in China is like an adventure through diverse and rich lands. From modern farms to small barns to fields where goats graze, all show the creativity and persistent working spirit of farmers. Goats are not the species with the highest economic output, nor are goat products popular, but farmers persist in livestock farming and the constant innovation of Chinese agriculture. In the world's majestic highlands, where mountain peaks rise above the clouds, brave farmers are facing endless challenges and discoveries, raising thousands of yak cows. Not only are they livestock animals, yak cows also carry a special cultural journey. Right now, we will enter the villages located around the Himalayas, where farmers raise thousands of yak cows. In fact, it is difficult to determine an exact number of yak cows raised each year because it depends on many factors such as geographical region, weather conditions, size of the farm, and market demand. However, in Tibet, India, and Nepal, where yaks are raised the most, there are some large farms that can raise thousands of yaks. Yak originate from the Himalayan mountains, where high altitudes and harsh climatic conditions have created a strong and highly resilient breed of yak. With their thick fur, curved horns, and flexible bodies, they have become a symbol of strength and survival in difficult environments. Farmers in Tibet are not just professionals, but they are the heirs of a tradition that stretches back many centuries. These yaks graze and roam freely in the mountains during the summer months. They are brought home once in the spring to plow fields and plant beans or barley, and then they are returned to the mountains to graze until winter begins. From here, an incredible journey takes place. The villagers rode horses to find yaks and bring them back. Yak cows live scattered everywhere in the valley. Therefore, farmers have to cross many mountains to search for them. When night comes, people gather around the fire to warm up, and when the new day comes, they continue their long journey. Farmers often find yak cows in small groups of 2 to 9 animals. With many years of experience, farmers will go to places where yak cows often graze. They continue searching until they found the last yak and brought them all back to the village. December in Shahdai, a village deep in the Zanskar region of the Himalayas. As the weather cools, the rivers are starting to freeze. The people of Shahdai began to collect wood from the forests surrounding their village. This is also the time when yak cows develop their strength. They can carry huge amounts of trees on their backs and still be able to cross rough hills and mountains and go back to the village. This is also an annual event in the village. It is related to the survival of the people during the winter months. Because when temperatures drop to freezing levels, staying warm is important. To maintain a fire in the kitchen, people had to collect large amounts of wood and store it in their homes. People make full use of the space on yak backs to load firewood and other items for the trip. They also took advantage of the opportunity to get some more firewood to carry on their backs. The group of people and yak cows kept going. They traveled a long way to get here. And now, when they found firewood, they rushed back to prepare for the cold days to come. In addition to plowing fields in the spring, yak cows are also a means of transportation for Tibetans. Of course, they also take advantage of their power to transport things. Even when grazing freely, yak cows still play an important role in providing energy. After eating grass, they create dry dung in the desert, which is an excellent fuel. People would pick up yak dung like this. They used it for cooking and heating their houses. Unlike raising cattle in the lower regions, in Tibet, farmers face unique challenges. Cold climates and long winters increase pressure on natural food sources, and farmers must master the art of protecting yak herds from harsh weather conditions. The difficulties do not stop at the weather. Limited infrastructure is a challenge that farmers in Tibet must overcome every day. Difficult climbing paths make transportation difficult, posing transportation and medical challenges. However, these difficulties do not take away the passion and patience of farmers. They understand that maintaining the life of yak cows is not only a profession, but also protecting and maintaining a part of cultural heritage. High in the mountains of Nepal, farmers are grazing herds of yak cows. Most of the food for yak cows is grass and herbs that grow naturally in the Himalayan mountains. Farmers take advantage of the highland lands to create delicious grasslands, which are an important source of nutrition for yak cows. The richness of this step helps protect and maintain the lives of cows in harsh environments. During the breeding process, farmers often carefully take care of female yak cows to strengthen the herd and preserve genetic diversity. They are trying to get the yak mothers to breastfeed their babies. During this period, farmers also used yak milk to make butter, a famous fragrant butter tea that helped them overcome the cold in the high mountains. Spoiled butter is used to make candles for lighting. In addition, yak fur is also used by farmers to make shoes and warm coats. However, today yak is raised mainly for the purpose of providing meat. Every day, as dawn creeps across the majestic Himalayas, yak herds begin their new day. But behind the beautiful image you are seeing is the sacrifice and perseverance of farmers in daily life. In addition to grazing, farmers also milk yak to supplement their already scarce food sources, because they only eat meat on important occasions. This simple meal will help them recharge for a long day. When grazing, farmers just need to stand from afar and observe the yak cows eating and drinking. It sounds quite easy, but in fact this is the most labor-intensive job. The grass fields near their homes will eventually dry up, they will be forced to look for new areas, and the trip will get farther and farther until the grass around the village grows back. Goodbye Nepal, let's go to the mysterious land of India. Here, yak cows are not just animals, but a symbol of vitality and love between humans and majestic nature. Because farmers here raise yak cows not only for economic profit, but also to maintain balance in the high mountain environment, enrich the land and keep the land intact. The tropical climate, especially the long dry season, makes natural food sources scarce. For decades, farmers in Ladakh, India, have struggled to maintain the life of their yak herds in these harsh natural conditions. However, living in this natural environment exerts a positive influence on meat quality. Therefore, yak beef is considered a food choice with high quality and good nutrition. It has health benefits because it is low in fat, high in protein, and contains many important amino acids. The yak beef market typically targets customers looking for premium and unique food. Professional restaurants and food stores often use yak beef to create unique and attractive dishes. In the village located right under the giant mountains, the farmers are still there. They persistently work with their yak herds. All create a very special beauty for the high mountains.